What's happening, guys? I'm Kobe Chowan here with Craig McCoy, and welcome to our latest Tuesday training, where every week we bring to you a live training from lead gen and AI all the way to business planning and goal setting.
You have the new version and the old version. We collaborate to make it awesome.
If you want to join and jump on the next Tuesday training, join our school platform below. It's completely free. Click the link below, and we'll see you there. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Excited for you all to be here.
I'm excited to be here.
All right. Excited for today. We're going to kind of wrap up this AI conversation today.
We're going to wrap it up only because we don't know how to bring it up.
It very well. We're gonna have Dylan was supposed to be on this week, and he selfishly
Had a kid.
and so he had a kid over the weekend, and he won't be able to make it. I mean, I just had a kid, and I'm here, but
A
whatever.
month ago.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's only been a month.
no paternity leave. It wasn't even a thing when I was your age.
So we will have him come on in probably a week or two whenever he's back around to kind of show what we're building on the Link side of stuff. But with that, we threw together kind of a high level overview of some of the do's and don'ts that we use when we're using AI, how myself and Andrew use it on very specific workflows. Kind of give you guys some prompts. I'll send the link out in the chat with it. You guys kind of walk through with me as we go through it. But that's what we'll kind of go over today. But starting with Bill and Tim, or Tim or Bill, whoever wants to go first.
All right, why don't you go ahead, Tim? Start us with the market. No? Okay, well, I'll start then. So I just want to talk about, Tim will go over the rates and what's going on in the market, but what I'm going to talk about is just some of the programs we have available and some of the things that I've been seeing with clients recently. So first off, there's all different ways that people can qualify for a loan. Conventional mortgage, FHA loan, that's when you're using W-2s and pay stubs and W-2s, pay stubs, and tax returns to qualify somebody. That's the real standard way. But when you have clients who are self-employed, it's a little trickier because they almost certainly write off a lot of their income as expenses. So there's a lot of options for those kind of clients, and really can open up opportunities for people. You can qualify using 12 months bank statements, whether they're business bank statements, personal bank statements, any combination of the two. They're going to look at deposits that are coming in every month. If it's transfer from one account to another, that's not going to count. But as long as it appears that it could be an income deposit, that'll be counted, and they can use that as income. We also have a program that's pretty much the closest thing to a stated income loan that we've had in a long time, other than the DSCR. This one, you qualify with a profit and loss statement. So they drop a profit and loss statement. It needs to get signed by a tax preparer. And with that, and proof that they're self-employed, that's what we're going to use for their income. And that's huge. It's a really, they're not looking at what's on that profit and loss statement. They're looking at the number. There's no secondary checkup on it. So it can really open the door to somebody to qualify if they're hiding most of their income. And then you can also qualify people just using their 1099s. So instead of having to show the full tax return with all the deductions, we're just showing the 1099s that they receive from whatever sources they have coming in. Maybe it's just one, maybe they have multiple income streams, but we can use those to qualify as well. So these are, just ways that you can help people get in. And we're actually seeing some opening on that. Typically the catch on these loans, on these non-QM loans is what they're called, is that they're required, the buyers are required to have a higher down payment. The rates become comparable to conventional loans if they're bringing in 20%. But we do have some programs opening up with as little as 10% down on these. Rates are a little bit higher, but there's no PMI. So it's a really good way to help somebody get in the door on a house. If they can't come up with the 20%, we can still go that route. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up to you guys is that I've had a lot of inquiries recently for second mortgages. So whether that's a home equity line of credit or a closed-end fixed rate second mortgage. And this is a tool that can be really useful for you. Josh and I were working on a deal recently, and some of his clients, they're using their home equity loan to pull money and buy another house. So while you're out there, you're hitting the pavement, you're looking for new buyers, new people. It's worth taking a look at the people you've already worked with in the past and talking to them about whether or not they might want to build their real estate portfolio, or maybe build an ADU. I mean, my thought on this, like the ADU is cool and all, but you also are going to have people living in your backyard. So you can you can talk about that, and you have to go through a construction project, and there's a lot that goes into that. So that's one way, but it might be worth actually considering buying an investment property, that's not on your exact same land. And and with that, there's there's a lot of stuff out there. And what I'm seeing, at least around Los Angeles, and I'm imagine it's probably the same elsewhere, is that multifamilies, 2-unit properties, 3-unit properties, 4-unit properties are sitting on the market a lot longer than single family homes, especially like entry level single family homes. So um, there's a lot of opportunity there, I think, to actually find a good deal right now, and potentially find something that's gonna cash flow. It's gonna help your people build their portfolio, and we can do that using a second mortgage, and we can do a cash out refinance for them as well. But a lot of people currently have a fixed rate first mortgage at 3% or something that's really low, and you don't want to touch that. So that's why we're using these second loans. And we can qualify these with bank statements. We have non-QM options for them. And then if they really are set on doing more of a ADU or a remodel or that kind of thing, the home equity line of credit is great. Or maybe they're just still looking for a place and they haven't found it yet. The difference between the two is that when you get a closed-end second mortgage, they're going to give you, just say you apply for $300,000, they're going to give you that money right up front, and then you start making payments on it right away. On a home equity line of credit, it's just that, it's a line of credit. So they might qualify you for a $300,000 credit line, but you're only going to start making payments based on how much money you've drawn. So if you take $50,000 on that home equity line of credit, your payment's going to be much lower than it would be on that fixed rate second, because you're only making payments on that 50K. Once you start drawing that money to invest in the new home or invest, get the build completed, that's when they're going to start making bigger payments. But if you have past clients and they have some equity in their house, they could potentially be new clients. So that's what I wanted to touch on. Do you guys have any questions?
Where are rates at with HELOCs versus seconds? Are they a lot higher typically? And is it
Um,
fair to qualify or pretty similar?
Pretty similar. Pretty similar. I mean, the fixed rate closed end seconds are going to be like in the mid to high sevens typically. It depends on how much you're drawing, but the clients I'm working with now, they want to take 80% combined loan to value. So that's the first mortgage plus the second mortgage is going to be 80% of the property value. Um, we were getting let's see, the HELOC, their credit wasn't great, so their HELOC is like 8.25. The closed end second was going to be 7.875. Um, on the HELOC, the downside of the HELOC is that the lender won't pay us directly, so they have to pay for our origination fee from the proceeds of the loan rather than, so the cost is just a little bit higher. But
Got it.
they're generally not very expensive. We do them based on the amount of money that's drawn, so it's we don't make a lot of money on it, but it opens up opportunity for more deals down the road. So that's what the point is.
Sweet. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Any questions from any of you guys? Or from Sheila, who's now in the room with us? Thank you for coming out. All right, sweet. Tim, do you want to jump into kind of rates and where we're at?
Sure. Hello, everybody. Where we're at? Well, we're still fighting the big fight right now, other than in Iran, which is obviously causing volatility right now. We kind of went up to about mid sixes yesterday due to some Iran war news and ongoing saga we have going there. But the good news is, if it wasn't for some tight mortgage spreads, we'd probably be looking into more in the mid sevens is where we would be at. And so the mortgage spreads are kind of doing the heavy lifting right now, meaning they're compressed as opposed to where they were in years past. So we're about mid sixes right now. I'll get into specifics here, but 2023, we'd probably be about 7.625. 2024, we'd probably be at 7.25. And in 2025, with how the spreads were, we'd be over 7%. So the good news is, even with everything's going on, we're still below seven in the mid sixes. So the spread really is what they add to the treasury. Right now, it's about 1.9. It's usually 1.6, 1.8. But in 2023, it was over 3%. So we're in a better position than we would have been if this whole thing happened 3 years ago. Specifically, where rates are right now on a conventional 30-year fixed loan, a no-point loan is about 6.5%. Paying at about a point, you're at 6.25%. And then flipping over to a government loan, no-point loan is just under 6% at 5.99. And if you're paying a point, it's about 5.625%. Um, so yeah, hopefully things settle down at some point. We're over 2 months into this conflict. Hopefully something gets resolved at some point. But either way, we're in a good position, and remind your buyers right now that if you're buying a house and they get appreciation right now of about 4% a year on average, they're going to start building wealth. So there's really no reason to wait. If they qualify for something, can find a house, go for it, and hopefully rates come down and they get some appreciation and build some wealth. And that's all I got.
Yeah, that's a really good point on that, is that, you know, when you buy a house, that payment that you get on the house is the highest it's ever going to be. You have an opportunity to potentially refinance down the road and lower your payment. Whereas when you're renting, your rent's going to continue to go up over time. That's just how it works. So that's something to remind your buyers that, hey, this might seem like a lot right now, but what was your rent 10 years ago and what is it now? You know, how does that compare? Your mortgage payment's not going to change. So make sure to remind people of that when they're kind of, if they're nervous about having to come in with higher, with they're going to be paying more on a mortgage than they would on their rent. It's a really important point that, once people understand it, it can make a difference.
Sweet. Thank you, guys. All right. I'm going to share a link and as well as our screen here in a second. Can you guys all see this? Sweet. I'll assume that's a yes from no nos. And so today, kind of like we said, wanted to wrap up this AI conversation, show you guys some very specific use cases, how we're utilizing it to kind of automate parts of our day, but still keep the personal aspect of it there. This is what me and Andrew use for a lot of our social media, a lot of our meta ads, Google ads, blog posting. Want to show you guys a couple of use cases of it. And then we created this just very basic like URL that you guys can jump into. You guys can click around and see some of the do's and do nots. It gives you guys example of brand intake forms if you guys want to go out and create your own. That talks about brand identity, your voice and tone, what differentiates you from other agents in an area, your kind of content preferences, and really takes a dive into what are Claude projects. And so before we even jump into that, taking a step back, you have ChatGPT, you have Claude, you have Perplexity, you have Grok, you have all the different AI platforms and LLMs out there. What is your favorite one?
Claude. So I guess part of the hard part about trying to go through this on the AI front for you guys is you're all in different places, and for some of you guys these LLMs or large language models, Claude, ChatGPT, they're called LLMs. You're all in different spaces, and so trying to understand what they are and then how to utilize them is two different topics. So as Kobe's going through this, take it with a grain of salt. But the big point that I want to stress to you guys is just embrace it because it's here, right? And so take the time to dive deeper on your own. There's a ton of courses out there. If you just go into Claude, Claude will teach you how to use Claude. Same with every other LLM out there. It's not going away. It's only going to be used more and more. Utilize or figure out how to utilize it in your guys' own business. It's not just for descriptions on listings. There's so much more to it. So again, take this for a jump off point, 30,000 foot view, and you guys take the time to dig in on your own. So keep going. And just know this, so what we're doing on Link, right? We have our vision of our tech future, and AI is a part of that. And so we're trying to create a bunch of Link.ai tools for you guys to be able to use. And as we start to roll these out, it's going to allow you guys to not only, for lead gen and marketing and advertising, um, it'll be there for retention and everything else. So if you look at HomeBot, which some of you guys have heard HomeBot, we're trying to create our own Link.ai version of HomeBot. We have a bunch of different things that we're trying to create and roll out. And so as we do, we'll show you guys. I don't know if Kobe wants to roll out a sneak peek on our Figma board, but
Yes,
we'll
we'll
save that maybe. But just know that it's here. It's here to stay, and either going to jump on board and utilize it, or you're going to be left behind very, very quickly.
And to that point, we will hopefully at the end of this month have the first version of it. Would be the Link.ai version for our agents, with tools that are tied directly to MLS, that have the monthly home valuations going out, that have the pre-qualification for your clients so that they could automate workflows at the end of the day. And so you spend less time having to follow or worry about who to follow up with. You're going to have clients being able to interact with your personalized bot that's tied directly to you, that's branded to you, that's going to be able to do a lot of this type of stuff. And so the home valuations, the pre-qualifications, saved searches, so that instead of coming from Zillow or from the MLS or coming from HomeBot or some random company that your client doesn't trust, it's going to all come personalized from you. So we'll get into that if you have some time at the end of today. If not, we're hoping to kind of roll out some of that at the beginning of next month into this month. And so keep an eye out for that.
Hmm.
But for now, we'll start, like Craig said, at the very, very beginning. Claude itself. And so anytime you go into any of these AI platforms, you're typically going to see just the standard like chatbot. And so if I come into here and I click new chat, this is what everybody's seen. And most of the time people come into here and say,
Hey, hold on, real fast. Get rid of that. If you guys just go right here to learn, you guys can go ahead and you guys can take. It's going to teach you guys how to use it.
yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
Usually people come in here and say, I want to post on Instagram. Here's some ideas. And they go through and they start a new chat every single time. And every time they're starting from the beginning, they're starting from A and they're saying, I want to post more on Instagram about my local area. Give me some ideas. They go out, they take those ideas, they film them, and then they start a new chat and say, here's my videos. I've finished my videos. Give me some ideas for captions. And then I'll ask, okay, what is the brand you want? What is the voice you want? Who's your target audience? And Craig's going to tell you to teach me how to best prompt you.
This is just an example. I mean, prompting, you guys have all heard shit in, shit out, right? The better you guys prompt, the better output you're going to get. So learn how Claude or ChatGPT learn how they want to be prompted, because the better you prompt, the better outcome you guys are going to get. So and take that for what it's worth, but I didn't mean to sidetrack you. So that was just an example. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to prompting this. So when Kobe's talking about making these agents for yourself and then tying them to your person, once you make a project inside of Claude, you make that project to you specifically. So every time that you go in there, it's going to learn how you write your texts, how you write your emails. And so we all have this new version of our email. It's showing you guys how to edit your emails. Well, these edits aren't you. It's not how I speak, right? So I'm not that articulate. When I write an email, it's coming from me the way I write. And so if you guys just go blindly and use AI, it's so obvious, I'm not that smart, right? So when I write an email, it's coming across like my dumb self. And so I want to speak like me. I don't want to speak like some, I don't even know, AI bot, right? So know that, and know that when you write a 14-page email, they know right away that's not you.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you guys are using language that's not your own, it's obvious.
Very, very obvious. And so, yeah, you come in here. I always ask it, what is the best way to do X, Y, and Z? So if I want a better outcome, like I'll go into this other chat that I was using for YouTube optimization, and where it started versus where it ended is a little bit different, but we wanted to create a custom GPT to help with YouTube headlines, descriptions, thumbnails, very specific to YouTube. I would upload things about myself, our websites, hat trick. I was saying I asked ChatGPT to give me this, but can you, Claude, give me your own version of it? And it'll go through and give me exactly what I need to fill out its own project. And so, difference between a chat and a project as well, I'll show you in a second. Um, as I'm going through here, I will explain exactly what I'm looking for and that I always want a list of or a description, a title, thumbnails. It will ask me questions. I'll go back and forth, and I'll say I want to focus on Kobe Chatwin and Hat Trick Real Estate and our local brand and our voice. And I'll share this chat with you guys as well.
And
More
Kobe says please and thank you to Claude, which
I
is
say
very
please
nice.
and thank you every time, so that when they take over the world, they don't kill me. They're gonna take out Craig though very very fast.
No, I do not. I'm nice to. I'm nice to you as well.
Uh, anyway, this is all. I'll send this to you guys so you guys can kind of read through it. But more importantly, what you get from it is these little brand briefs and descriptions and prompts for the actual project itself. So instead of coming in every time and I've wanted to do YouTube content and having to restart from the very beginning and give those long descriptions on what it is I'm looking for, who I am, having to go and read my website and whatnot, it'll just spit this out for me. And it's my YouTube content lab for Kobe Chow's YouTube channel, what the Claude's role is. The channel, it's broken up into two buckets. You have agent training, then you have Southern California local and personal brand. Who is this? Who are these videos actually made for? What are the outputs that I want? So every single time I want a title, I want a thumbnail, I want 5 to 8 other title options, one for search-driven results, one for curiosity. Give me some ideas for thumbnail concepts, and we'll go in and actually, if you could plug it into your Canva and have it create your thumbnails for you, give you the descriptions of what the YouTube video is about. And so I will take this copy and paste this YouTube content lab. And instead of putting it into, once again, a new chat, you come in here and you go into projects. And so you either have projects, if you're on ChatGPT, you have the custom wrappers, whatever it is, you click new project and I could go YouTube, growth director, help me optimize. You copy and paste that exact instruction manual, if you will, into the instructions here. Click save instructions, and then I could always use just this very specific project for anything YouTube related. And so instead of having to go in and once again start the chat from the beginning, I could take my video, take the transcripts out of it, drop that into this chat now, and it knows exactly what the outcome of it should be. It's already gonna know my brand, it's gonna know my voice, it's gonna keep it consistent. Um, the other thing we see people do is they'll take one project and they'll use it for all of their social media, say. And so AI will get confused on what it is trying to optimize for. And so if you're looking at YouTube, you have TikTok, you have Meta, you have your Google ads, you have your website, you have your blog posts, you have emails, you have listing descriptions, and you try to fit too many things under one roof, it's going to just really handicap the outputs that you have. And so it's not going to know what it should optimize for YouTube or for Meta or for whatever it is. And so we suggest going in and creating an actual project for each workflow itself to optimize that the best it can. That way you're still saving the time, but it's really optimizing for the channel specific that you want. And so if you go through and you start with one big chat, by the end of it, you could have kind of a master brand brief that talks about me, who I am, how I want to talk, puts the do's and don'ts in there. But then you get your own more specific version for each channel that you're on. So one for TikTok, one for Instagram, one for YouTube, one for website, Meta ads, Google ads, drip campaigns, you name it. And then in here, what I shared in the chat is more of a kind of what are projects, a little bit more of the ground level of it. Once again, what you save time with projects versus without it, why separate projects per platform. These are all going to be your intakes. And so when you're going in and you're going to be creating one, just some kind of questions to keep in mind that will help it match to you better with your brand identity. These are the questions that you should probably go through and ask yourself before you go in and start just like spitballing to Claude. It talks about the different projects. It gives you guys examples. If you guys want our own system prompt, you can come in here and just copy and paste these for one's for Meta, one's for YouTube, blog posting, website copy, and then paid ads. And come in here and copy and paste our prompts for you. It shows you the common use cases on what we use it for, specifically for each project. We have a quick do's and don'ts page, and this is just for us personally, how we use it, like I don't ever want it to have M dashes in it. And so if you tell it, don't ever use M dashes, it will never use M dashes. So you could copy and paste this specific kind of non-negotiables, never start content with, I'm so excited to share, or I'm thrilled to announce, or whatever it is. I tell it never fabricate statistics. If you don't know something, ask me because you don't want it to go out and hallucinate. And if I say, give me a blog post about North County, San Diego, and it spits out, well, home prices are up 500% over the last 2 years, and it's not referencing where it got it from, I obviously don't want that in there. So, um, what max one exclamation point per piece of content? I don't know. I just write a lot of exclamation points, I guess. And then I'll give you guys some more starter prompts. And so taking it back even a step, you can go in here and say, I want to make a YouTube video. Is blank worth living in, the honest truth? And then give me a script with hooks, sections, just to kind of give you guys a jump off point to try to test with. And so I shared this URL in the chat already. You guys can go in and kind of play around with it, read through it. We try to kind of front load it with prompts to help give you guys a jump off point.
The biggest thing is this, like whenever you guys, whatever you're going to use, whether it be ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, create what he's talking about, create the project, or in ChatGPT, you're going to create your own GPT, right? So understand what it is you guys are trying to accomplish. Ask it questions. Ask it which large language model is best for what specifically, right? What does Perplexity do better than Claude? What does Claude do better than ChatGPT and vice versa? And so ask it those questions. If you're unsure of something, ask it to teach you. It'll walk you through step by step. Go into, whoever owns, Claude, which is Anthropic. Ask Claude about Anthropic and the different tools that it has for real estate agents, right? And so it'll go through and talk to you about Claude Cowork, Claude Code, Claude Chat. Like there's so many different things from Anthropic that you guys can use. And there's just so much more than just what we can go over on this meeting that you guys should know about and what it can do, automation wise. And so the whole point about AI is to be able to utilize it for your redundant tasks. And so if you want to create AI agents, it's a whole separate discussion. But just know that they're out there and understand what realtors are doing on their day to day to use AI to better serve them and help them, and where the next 5 months is going to take AI, because it's not 5 years from now. When the internet came around, it was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, this is amazing, whatever. AI is like, it's so damn fast. Like you guys have to be opening your eyes to it now to understand what it can do, because it's just going to be, I mean, it's just going to revolutionize everything that we do in this industry, in mortgage industry. And it's happening day by day. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I would love to hear maybe what some other agents are using the AI for. For example, like last night, I just stuck in and said, can you check out my website, agentsue.com, and let me know improvements? And it spit it out everything that I have as an error. Now I have to find somebody to make those improvements, some web designer type person. But I just wanted to mention that is how I'm using it. I also used it last night because I sent out my e-newsletter and I wanted to do a resend and I couldn't know how to do the resend. So I said in MailChimp, how do I resend? And it told me everything. It also helped me write that e-newsletter. So that's some of the ways that I am using it. I just was kind of curious to know how, and you guys just gave a lengthy example. I know you don't want to talk about AI, but maybe somebody has one or two other simple things they're doing with it. And then I just want to add it, as much as AI is important and it is for automating, God, picking up that phone and calling people, I don't want to lose that skill.
Then you go ahead and use 11 Labs, recreate yourself, and it'll call for you. I'm kidding.
Don't do
That's
that.
a joke. I'm not kidding, but I mean, there's so many new calling AI bots. I mean, sure, you guys are going to get them on your guys' phones all the time now, but it's just, 11 Labs, you can go ahead and go on and make a whole video series that isn't even you, right? You can say, tell it what you want. You film a few things of what you're doing, how you speak, and it'll just create all kinds of videos for you. It's just, yeah.
Sue, to that point, I'll show you guys one example of like our blog posting and SEO and how we utilize it, and then kind of some of the results that we're starting to see from it. And so we built our own Claude project, not full voice of ourself, because that is scary and that is here,
Yeah. The deep fake.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we will go in there. We're going out, and I think we talked about this a few months back, filming just different area reviews. And so we're going in. We have Sue at a lot of them. We have Elisa. We have TJ. And we'll do like restaurant reviews, area reviews. It'll help us write these actual blog posts themselves. We'll go just film a quick TikTok video or Instagram video about different food places. And this is best sandwich in Encinitas. It will write our entire blog post for us and really optimize it for SEO and to show up when people are searching for food in Encinitas, things to do in Encinitas, you name it. We're doing about a 50-50 split of just personal lifestyle brand, and that's golf courses, that's area reviews, that's food. And then the other half is really real estate focused. But taking something like this, you kind of see the analytics that we're starting to really appear on organic keyword searches when people are searching like Moto Deli and Encinitas, Crack Taco Shop, different food places, best food to eat in Encinitas. Really, at the end of the day, just trying to get more eyes to our website organically. Whether that person's actually going to come in and buy a house or not, it's going to help us rank better locally. It's going to tell other people in Encinitas that this website is the place to go. You should trust these people. They are local to the area and they know the area. We'll also take this exact blog post and these templates and have it build out our drip campaign. And so when you're talking to a buyer who coldly came in from your website, instead of just saying, hey, here's how we can help you and we can save you $10,000 when you buy a house, we have that. But also, here's some of my favorite places to eat in Encinitas. Here's some of my favorite places to go in Carlsbad. Here's my favorite neighborhoods within Carlsbad to really show that you're the local authority there. Because at the end of the day, when somebody calls you, you're going to need to know all this stuff anyway. So you can't just rely on AI to do it all. Like you have to be out there doing it with it. I'm not going to go write an area review on 50 neighborhoods I've never been to. I'm going to go out there and do it. I'm going to film it. And then I'm going to post about it and promote it on the socials. And utilizing these projects, you're really just able to do more faster at the end of the day. So I already sent that chat in here, but yeah, do you guys have any questions on any of that? Here's about today. Let me log in on mine.
Thank you very much for that tip. That's very helpful.
Yes, of course.
If we turn off, because Kobe's computer's going to die.
He's about to die. Sweet. Well, if we just did that good of a job and you guys are already on the URL and already playing with it and already building what you guys want to build, that's all we have on the AI side for today. Once again, Dylan, when he's back from just playing hooky, he will be on here and we'll kind of talk through some of what we're building on the link side for you guys. We're trying to take this and even make it easier. So it's just 1 or 2 clicks for you guys and going from a listing to the single property websites to the home valuations to prequals to net sheets to ads and meta ads and Google ads and follow up and social media.
Because I mean, there's so much. It's out there now. What, right? How do you actually utilize it to do something for you in a meaningful way, not just know it exists? I mean, it can do a lot of things, but getting it to do a lot of things and then the execution of that are 2 different things.
Yeah.
But good times.
All right. Yeah. Here's at 1%. So,
oh, hey, by the way, Thursday, I'm not going to be here for book club, so it's up to you guys. You go and jump on and do it on your own. Cool. If not, we'll just skip next week, or sorry, skip Thursday and be on next week, and just go to like I don't even know chapter 10 or something. Add to
real quick, guys. Has anybody did the training course that cursive for AI? They like go over every AI and say you'll get certified as AI in 28 days. Has anybody done that?
The cursive. So if you guys go on to there's an app called Cursive. You guys can do all kinds of different courses, but yeah. Is that what you're talking about, Brenda Lou?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just curious if anybody used it.
I have not.
I mean, yeah, getting certified is one thing. Hold on, I want to jump on here, Kobe, just for fun.
I don't care. I don't care about the certification. I was wondering if anybody used it to learn any of this.
I bought it and never used it. So, but I think that you can just use AI to learn AI.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I
don't think it's worth it.
That's what I needed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. with Claude or either Chat GPT. Hello?
Yep, I got you.
Should it be best like to make a subscription? Because
Yes.
yeah, so it can be more personal, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So there's free versions and there's paid versions.
Mhm.
You can get the Claude Pro for 20 bucks a month
Yeah.
and start doing this stuff. I would highly recommend that just to personalize it. Absolutely.
Okay, and what about 11 Labs? I know you said
Uh,
that was a good one
y-
for video versus Gemini. What is your take on that?
yeah, Gemini and and Level Labs they're going to be different. But
Mhm.
again, I would just research both those, go into both those, create the free version to start with, and then the first thing you're going to do, you're going to run out of credit, so you're going to have to get an account at some point. But it's just
Yeah.
worth going into both to understand what they both do differently, and then choose the one. I mean, Gemini, I don't even think 11 Labs is different than Gemini completely. So I
Okay.
know there is, Google's version now called Switch. I want to say that is out there. There's a whole bunch of things from like Anthropic, Google, Meta, uh, X. I mean, X has Grok, but X has a lot more as well. Google has a lot. Microsoft has their version. There's just so much out there that you can get overwhelmed very quickly. Pick one or two. So if you're going to start with one, pick one. Pick Claude or pick ChatGPT. They do have free versions, but again, I just pay the minimum to get your own personalized. 11 Labs is going to be a little bit above this conversation because then you're talking about actually doing videos of yourself, having those connect to Meta, for content creation. There's all kinds of API. We can go on, but I don't want to get too far away. So I would
Okay.
just research them individually on your own and see which ones fit your style better.
Okay, and my last question.
Yeah.
So CapCut, you don't think that would that replace some of this?
CapCut's more for video editing. So different. And so if you create a video and want to edit it in CapCut, yes, that'd be great. 11 Labs is going to make your video. Like literally AI it's AI completely. Like you're not even on camera. So it's a totally
Mhm.
different setup.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
had thought about, I want to Brenda Lou question. I had inquired about Corsa, but you end up with so many different subscriptions,
Yes.
which is what
Hmm.
one of the reasons why I was asking this question because you could end up with like 10 subscriptions with these things so different and you
Yeah.
seem like you're wasting money. So that's why I
Yeah.
get away from it.
That's why I'm saying pick one or two, and with cursive, great if you want to learn different things. You're at night doom scrolling, they call it, right? You want to
Mhm.
learn a few things, go on to that. Or if you want to learn, go on, and onto Anthropic and understand what they have. They have courses. There's just so many courses out there. You guys can go on YouTube, but just go specifically to Anthropic or to Claude, and you'll be able to learn about it. And then just ask each LLM to teach you how to best use it. Ask Claude, what LLM is best for video editing, for content creation, for blog posts. Ask it, and it'll literally tell you where to use Perplexity versus Claude versus ChatGPT. So just mess around with it, and you guys can, you know, kind of teach yourself how to use it as well. Uh,
Thank you.
Creating videos. So creating videos, 11 Labs is one way to do it. But then again, editing videos, we just mentioned CapCut or just go to iMovie. I mean, there's now video editing software that's all AI. You can upload your video into, I'm not even sure what's out there for AI video editing, but you can now upload your video into AI. It'll edit your video for you. Um, yeah, just again, there's just so much out there. I don't want to, belabor the point, but it's, yeah, just ask Claude, right? And ask them what the best video editing software is. And it'll spit out their version of it. I know that was a lot. So, anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns?
Who's got business coming up? Listings, escrows? How about that aspect of real
Yeah.
estate?
We have a listing coming up in Huntington Harbor if anybody wants a waterfront in Huntington Harbor. It's single story, going to be one of the only single stories in Coral Cay, which is the only gated community of about 100 homes.
That would be in Southern California for those who don't know.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. I have a listing coming up in Oceanside this week. That's also in Southern California. Family home, 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath. It is a returned client who bought it 3 years ago and it didn't work out for what their needs are. So they're selling it. They recognize they're not going to make any money on it whatsoever. So that's nice. We had it staged partially and pictures are being taken today. And
Sweet.
my buyers are still on the fence. I can't get them to call more lenders, and they're just like, we're holding off, which I think is a mistake. But my sales pitch is not enough for them.
You know what we need is a wants and needs page. Facebook.
Hmm.
Does anybody use Facebook anymore?
Yeah.
We should do a wants and needs page for Link.
Like how the instantaneous pitch meeting gives out at the end, they send out an email of all of coming up listings and buyers wants.
Yeah.
We can even just copy and paste that and send it out as well.
Yeah. Let's do
It's
that.
it's regionalized though.
Sue, are we allowed to do that? Or should we ask somebody at Instantaneous Pitch if we could forward on the wants and needs listings and buyers and upcoming listings?
Yeah, I think you should ask Jara, and then I would also just say it's really regional though. You guys have to remember it's definitely regional, isn't
Correct.
it not?
Yeah, no, it's very regional. And so
Right.
kind of just build them out as we go.
And Michael just said he posted in the school community. If you guys have any referrals going to Arizona or vice versa, if you have, we're in 7 states now. We have teams in Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, New York,
Colorado,
Texas,
Arizona.
Texas, in Texas.
Texas.
I don't know. We should be in Texas. Anyways, yeah. So just know we have agents in multiple states that you guys can refer out to. That'd be lovely. And our
And
mortgage company is in 12 states. What's that?
I was going to add, I also have a listing coming up in Canyon Hills, which is in Lake Elsinore, Southern California. It currently has a VA loan. The owners have a VA loan tied to great interest rates. So if anybody has a VA buyer,
So your VA seller will leave that loan there in place?
well, it's an assumable loan. So yeah.
All right, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Text
yeah.
me.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it to you.
All right.
They were on the market. They were on the market on the high end. So we're gonna zip. The owner, one of the owners, is an agent. So my
Yeah.
husband called me, and I'm like, I'm confused. Are you firing your wife? What's happening? So
Yeah.
we're just gonna partner up, and I'm gonna relist it.
Cool. Yeah. If you guys do have like loans like this, and you guys have a VA client that is not going to reuse their VA and they'll assume it, that is a gift. I mean, yeah, that's huge.
Okay, I'll text you.
Yeah. Actually, that'd be a pretty good marketing plan for you guys to go after VA loans and see if you can get them to assume it. Because
And
you
also
guys get,
FHA does it too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, so how hard is it to go for assumable FHA, Tim?
They're probably saying the biggest the thing you run into is whatever like the purchase price is, you have to put out a difference between that price and then whatever the
Right.
loan amount is.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
only hard part is if they've had the VA loan for a while or the house for a while and it's gone up a lot, and
Yeah.
somebody's have a massive down payment, it's hard to take over that loan because you got to bring in 300 grand or whatever it is. Not
Yeah.
impossible, but some people don't have the cash to do it.
Well, then you got to again go to Pace Morby talks about subject to financing, so you get the seller to carry as well. So if you can get that the first mortgage at the high 2s, low 3s, and then get the seller to carry, assume their loan, and then carry a second, that would be
Or
I mean we're going away.
Or if we find a second to do behind it, a conventional second like Bill was talking about earlier too.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yep.
In this kind of market, getting creative is almost necessary. So learn what's out there. You don't need to be a veteran to assume a VA loan. So
That's true. I just have to get creative. I'm sure probably you've heard of the family that owns the tea box business in Canyon Lake. The house burnt down.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yeah, their home burnt down like 2 weeks ago. So, the rental market in Canyon Lake is limited and they want to stay in Canyon Lake. So I had to get creative and started looking at the vacant homes that have been sitting on the market that are for sale. And I actually found them one. So we should be signing a lease for them. Yeah.
That's it.
But it worked out for the seller too, because the seller, I mean, they're getting $8,000 a month for rent for a year, and the home right below them is just starting construction. So it's going to be hard to sell for them. You know what I mean? With the construction starting. Yeah.
Cool. I love that. That was a good little segue on that. That's cool. All right, cool. Anybody have any else questions on any of that, on assumable loans, on buying properties subject to. That's probably a whole course we can go off and talk about subject to. But any questions on any of that?
The only question I have is, I thought with assumable loans that it does free up, it does free the VA loan up for the owner.
No,
It does
nope. The
not. Okay.
VA, if that loan stays in place, then that person that has that VA loan can't go out and get another VA loan.
Well, no,
Got it.
if a
Okay.
veteran assumes it, then they can. If a non-veteran assumes it, then you're right, it does stay tied up. All depends
Yeah,
on
right.
who's assuming it or not.
So if it's a non-veteran, is it essentially a wrap?
If it's
No, nope,
non-veteran, the seller's VA entitlement stays tied up in the property.
But
yep,
it's not a wrap.
not a wrap.
Not
Okay. Got it.
And again, you're throwing out terms. So if you guys are concerned or questioned about a wrap or an AITD, all-inclusive trust deed, creative financing that if you want to get into creative financing, a wrap is just that. So you're going to take that seller, they have the first loan in their name. The seller is, in essence, is going to carry the first mortgage, but still has their loan on their property. So you're buying that property, wrapping in that trust deed into this purchase, and so that seller can wrap and or carry a second above and beyond that. Again, we can go into this in detail if you guys have any questions on it. But if you guys have any questions on wraps, AITDs, subject to, all that stuff, there's a lot of things you guys can be looking into in this market. Yeah, good times.
On a
Love
more
that.
simple note, I want to give a plug for Craig's book club. That is not going to happen this Thursday, but the books you recommended are fantastic. I'm learning a ton. We're reading Be Obsessed or Be Average. It definitely is a pick you up book. We're going to read maybe some not more basic ones in the future. But for anybody who hasn't read Be Obsessed or Be Average, it really pumps you up to be a great salesperson. And I want to just thank Craig for doing this, but I'd love to see more people on there. I wish I would have read business books earlier in my career. I think I would have been more successful. So if you're sitting on the sidelines and you're not sure why your real estate's not doing great, I recommend hopping on our book club and reading some of the books that have been recommended.
Thank you for that, Sue. Any other plugs that anyone wants to say about me? None. No one even smiled, laughed, something.
I love you, Craig. You're a great guy. That's my plug.
All right.
You're a good grandpa.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
I was plugging the book club, by the way. Come join the book club.
I thought you were plugging me.
Not Craig, just the book club.
Just the book club. Okay. Okay. That's awesome. Yes, read books. Invest in yourself. Learn new things. All right. Cool. Anybody else? Thoughts, questions, plugs? No one. Hear nothing. We're going to say goodbye for today, and I
Got a
will
little
see
something really quick.
Go for it.
If you have a minute.
Go for it.
Fidelity just came out with a new platform that we do property monitoring. So any closings that take place now will have free monitoring services for the homeowners. So they'll receive an email if anybody records anything against their property or if their property pulls up on the MLS. So just something new to keep in mind that Fidelity now offers.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, fraud is pretty fun in this world that we're living in. So if you guys do have sellers that or you guys get calls on, it was big on vacant land for a while where people would call to list vacant land and they didn't own it. So if you get a gut feeling about some sellers, probably right. So check into it more so than just being excited to get a call for a property. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for that, Becca. And that's it. I'm gone
next week,
tomorrow through next week. So you won't see me Tuesday, but I'll see you guys next Thursday for the book club. So, all right, cool. See you guys.
Bye, guys.